Hey guys, it's Real. Welcome back to another Road to Masters Marathon video. Not a live gameplay, this is a spectate gameplay. If you've been watching me gameplays, you'll know that I'm just not 100%. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. There's one for your WoW players. But I just haven't really been, something's not been clicking for me, do you know what I mean? So I decided to play some games off of recording. So not recording, just playing them, and then maybe, you know, record one every now and then. Maybe do a spectate like I'm doing now, whatever. Just had some ideas, and basically what I've done is I've played 6 games without recording, and I've won all of them. So I'm now in my promos to Diamond 4. This is the first game in my promos to D4, 0 and 0. And this game, honestly, then into this game, I know the title may sound like a clickbait YouTube title, right? But just like bear with me, okay? I guarantee you're gonna have some kind of reaction to the ending of this game. Seriously, all right? You're either gonna think one of these teams are the luckiest teams in the game. You're gonna think, holy crap. You're gonna think, holy moly. You're gonna think, oh my god. You're gonna think, what the fajizzle. I guarantee you, lads, all right? Because it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. Plus, let me just get some little bit of stuff out of the way first, okay, guys? Alright? Jungle Path, Angie Runes. I'm playing with an Aatrox mid lane. He's got Smite. So he's going to be taking some of my jungle camps, and you take that. It's basically like the one-man funnel in the mid lane. You get Smite, you get that level 2 right off the get-go from getting the chickens, and then you have perma control over whether you want your chickens, your wolves, and the different scuttle crabs and the enemy camps as well. So the path that I've gone for this game, guys, is I start at the bot side with the red buff, then I go up to the top side crab. I do this one quite a lot. If you watch my gameplays, you've seen me do a path like this kind of frequently. I go to this top side crab, and then what I'm going to plan on doing is either look for a top side gank or something like that, mid lane maybe, and then work my way down, get the blue, get the gromp, get the wolves, and then just keep going down and stuff like that. Because then I'll be level 3 for the AoE camps, the chickens and the krogs. Obviously chickens are dead, but you know what I mean. So that's the aim of the game here. Now, I've already recorded this once, but my audio, for some reason, was really awful. So if my audio still seems a little bit... I mean, if I'm a little bit quiet, it's because last time I was hecking loud and I had to turn myself down. So apologies if it's not perfect. I don't know what the bloody hell's going on. For some reason, it decided to make me ridiculously loud. Like a pink suit at a funeral. I don't know where that one came from. Anyway, what's important to do, guys, is to keep your eyes peeled on the minimap when you're playing jungle so you can see plays developing. Like this one up here, Carly getting a nice amount of harass down onto the Kled. How about I go up there and show some love, try and get something going, adapt my jungle path a little bit here. So here comes the Kled. Bit out of position here, put my E down to pop in from the dash. It's a bit bad, but either way we catch him with a seismic shove. That's great. Oh wait, how about we piss away all of the good things that we just made by inting under the tower. On top of that as well, my bot lane also died. So that is 3 kills to 0 at the 3-minute marks in favor of the enemy team. Not great, honestly. And as I show to go for a play onto the Malzahar, what's my mid laner doing? Oh, he's taking me blooming wolves. That's very nice of you. Thank you for doing that, Aatrox. I appreciate that one. JK. I don't actually. But that's just going to be the theme of this game, guys. I'm going to be a little bit underfarmed because Aatrox is going a bit hard here. So, as I go for the play in the mid lane, Leona shows up. As you do, why wouldn't you? And that's fine. We just back off and then just go clear some more of me jingle jangle and all that lovely business. Now, guys, if you would be so kind, I want to share with you something. My views on YouTube, what's up with that? They've gone from a guaranteed 30, 40k to like a 10k. That's ridiculous. It's alright though, guys. It's okay, because as long as you guys are enjoying the video, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. But I did a little experiment about a week ago. I said, can you just like the video? Because I want to see whether or not it's that kind of algorithm thing. Because the likes were down as one. I didn't know whether it was because the views were down or whether the views were down because, you know, the interaction was down. So I said, just leave a comment, drop a like if you'd be so kind. And what happened? What do you know? That's the only video I've released in the last, well, since in this month that has, yeah, broken 20k. So I would ask you to do the same again. And in fact, in all of the videos, not just on mine, but any YouTuber you're watching, if you are one of those lazy viewers, which is fine, by the way, a lurking lazy viewer, I ain't judging you. I ain't judging you at all. But just, if you would be so kind to drop a cheeky like on the video, or leave a comment, or just something like that. Honestly, at least for me right now, that seems to be making a crap ton of difference. So let's try that again and see if that works. If you would, I'd appreciate it a lot. You don't have to, of course, but I would appreciate it a lot. Alright, talking over all that boring stuff. Also, don't forget to go follow me on the Facebook, fb.gg/foxdroplol, where I stream almost every single day. And Aatrox takes me camps almost every single day. That is the scuttle crab that he nicked from me. I'm level 4, for goodness sake. You took my chickens, my wolves, and now you've got the scuttle crab. Please, sir, can I have some more? The answer is no, not really. Alright, guys, my runes. Electrocute, Cheap Shot, Zombie Ward, Ravenous Hunter. Ravenous Hunter is important. You get a crap ton of healing with your Q on Ravenous Hunter. Secondary, Water Walking and Celerity. Can't show you my runes, obviously, because this is a spectate and not a live game, but still, either way. The early game here, we're quite equal on gold. A lot of that is with Aatrox just having a farm lead in the mid lane, but the enemy bot lane just does have 3 kills, and, well, looks like they're going to get another one. So you might be thinking in a game like this, I'm 0-0-0, enemy jungler's 2-1-1. Yes, he's having good early game impact, but our win conditions this game, honestly, a lot of it revolves around our Aatrox, because Aatrox is such a good, I mean, just look at him. Okay, firstly, this champion's disgusting, by the way. But secondly, you know, he's just hard farming. He's just, I mean, he's going to scale. He's going to scale really hard. He's farming everything up like I described it. It's like a self funnel. So he's just pouring all this gold into himself, farming the mid lane, farming my jungle camps, farming the enemy jungle camps, farming the scuttle crabs. So we can just chill out here, and then when Aatrox really like unlocks himself, that's when we can start winning. And as a Talia, I am a carry jungler, or I can carry as the jungler, so I don't mind chilling out and just farming up as well. Now, we saw Rengar show at the bot side again, and he had no buff here. I'm going to rewind right now, guys, so I can show you that stuff. There he is. He just showed bot and going for a gank, and as part of using this thing a little bit more, switch your brain on, use your noggin, I see that, and I ping the enemy red buff. I'm like, yo, Rengar showed bot side. He started at his red buff at level 1, because we knew that, and we know that because I saw him here at level 2, right? And he had his red buff, so we know he started at red. So I ping out to Aatrox, I'm like, yo, Aatrox, buddy, this is up, go and take that one, which he does. So he gets a free red buff, more use of that smite mid, and I'm just going to take my blue, and I'm finally level 6, holy moly. Now, level 6, what happens? You get your ultimate, and on Talia, it's important that you use your ultimate correctly, because there are 2 things you can do with it. Firstly, you use it to sort of teleport, but, you know, just get somewhere fast, and secondly, you use it to put down terrain to block escape or to cut fights in half, that kind of thing. Now, this gank right here is the perfect example of how to use a Talia ulti, because I could TP into the fight right here if I wanted to and join the fight, but what's important is I need to cut Kled off from his escape path. If I use my ultimate here, I'm going to have to aim it like that, which I could do that, but in order to get a slightly better angle, I'm going to walk up here so that I can then cut it off further across and get a sharper angle. So it's more straight. If I did it here, it would be more like diagonal, a bit like that, which means he can actually get closer to his tower and stand under the tower, forcing us to start taking tower shots. But if I do it like this, he can't really get close to his tower. I cut him off. I mean, we're going to take some tower shots anyway, but you know, we're not as deep under the tower. That's the point. So we get a nice ultimate down. This kills the Kled, and now we're just going to push this in, deny these minions from Kled, and then we're going to do a cheeky little, well, I'm going to take my Grump actually, but then we'll be doing a cheeky little recall soon. As soon as I get my Runic Echoes, I'll be happy. And I'm 900 gold right now, and because Aatrox just died in mid lane, he did get a solo kill, but then Rengar came in and got a shutdown, so actually pretty good for the enemy team. I should be able to get this Runic Echoes really soon. And Runic Echoes is a great power spike for junglers, for AP junglers. I mean, yeah, it is. You don't want to do it on non-AP junglers. So I want to make sure I can afford that and get that as soon as possible. Fortunately, the enemy team throws us a bone here and fails their tower dive. They do kill Soraka, I believe, but then they go a little bit too hard afterwards and actually end up failing there. So that's good for us because we weren't having the greatest... I mean, we're heading goal by about 1k. Don't get me... It's not like we're sucking or anything like that. But, you know, you can just see from the amount of gold going down here. Like what the story is in Balamori. That is unlucky though. Honestly, that is rather unfortunate. Poor Akali almost had the Kled there. But Kled has TP. Sorry, Kled doesn't have TP. He has Ignite apparently. So doesn't quite pick up that kill. Now this is one of those plays right here. I'm going to pause and just say to you guys, switch this thing on up here. Awareness, 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 awareness. It's so important to know what's going on around you so that you can make more informed decisions, which tend to be better decisions and work. Things are better for you when you use your brain, basically. So right here, I've just been playing with this Leona in this area. We know she's around here. Then Rengar shows. We see this as well. And we're thinking, hey, we can do it. I mean, we've got our strong member in this mid lane. Let's bloody go for it. So we're hanging about. We're thinking we can do this. But then something silly happens, which is this. I get greedy using my seismic shove, which is a mechanical misplay. Well, it's just greedy, really. And then I die. But most importantly here, our mid laner, our big dick strong boy over here, Mr. Aatrox, he went to take the enemy chickens. He didn't come for this. He went and left and went for the chickens. Now, I would argue this is a mistake on both of our sides here. Aatrox, I don't think Aatrox should have gone for the chickens there. He knew this was happening and all that stuff. He was just like, screw it, I'm going for chickens. I think that would have been really good play if we could afford, if Aatrox had joined the fight. It'd be really good trying to force fights around this guy, who's right now is obviously really strong. He's rushed his death stance. What are you doing, buddy? But he doesn't. He goes to the chickens. However, I know for sure, well, I should know for sure, he's gone to the chickens. It doesn't matter what he's doing, whether I think that's a suboptimal play for him to make, decision for him to take. He's done it. I need to adapt accordingly. I still go aggressive, which I shouldn't do. Add on the mechanical misplay there, and it's a recipe for disaster. So it's I just switch that brain on. Just switch it on a little bit. I'm right here. I see Rengar on a ward. I ping it. Then I warning ping Lucian. I ping him back a few times as well. Because maybe he's not paying attention here. Maybe he doesn't see this. And I think it's a good idea to just use your pings, to have the awareness that you're having by looking at the minimap, to also translate that awareness to your teammates by helping them with things like pings when they're getting a little bit in trouble there. I would like to think that my pings onto Lucian forced him to walk back there under the tower, and then Rengar, for some reason, still dove him. But either way, if he was out in the open, there's a good chance Rengar actually could have killed him in that situation. Alright, Leona, mate, I'm coming for your booty. I've already failed my Q, because apparently there was worked ground there. I failed my W as well, getting greedy, and at this point, I'm just screwed. I can't run this way because Jin's ulting me, and Rengar's there. If I run this way, I'm going to get caught by the towers. So in the end, what do? Well, I just die. There's nothing for me to do. I'm just donezo. So this honestly was just a bit too aggressive. Didn't want to go as ham as I went there. And poor old Soraka came to help her team and just dies because Aatrox can escape, but she can't. But we did get that bot side tower, so that's nice. But yeah, just a little bit over aggression here. And Kled, mate, I don't know what you're doing, buddy, but Aatrox is not someone you want to be fighting. So you're gonna die, friend. You're gonna die. Let's zip forward here, guys. By the way, if you want to watch the LCS this week, I heard there is going to be a rather sexy color caster on. Just throwing that one out there. I'd like to get my red buff here, but obviously Aatrox exists, so I ain't going to get that. So instead, we'll just take my Krugs and then just chill out here. I could hold the bot side, which is... Honestly, I should probably hold this bot side here. I mean, this tower... I mean, I could pick up these minions. Lane farm is free. You just want to take it. It's free gold, it's free experience, especially in this game when I'm not really getting much lane farm because sorry, I'm not getting as much jungle farm because Aatrox is taking a lot of it. But I did have a lot of my jungle up, so I guess that's probably my logic in the game, but I still think I should have gone bot there. But anyway, I see the situation here. I try and join with my team. It's a good idea to walk towards plays as they're happening, even if you don't get there. Even if things aren't happening for you, it's a good idea to go there still, just in case you can go there and help your team. Aatrox stands still here to flame Soraka because she ran towards Aatrox to heal Aatrox and ulti Aatrox when he had his revive passive up, which was a bit unnecessary. But either way, I'm going to go for the tower here because it's free. And it's always good to go for towers, guys. It's gold, it's experience, it gives you good positioning on the map to push lanes in further. Opens up the enemy jungle a bit more as well. Just go for towers if you can. So here we go. I'm going for the tower here. Bam. Get the tower. And then Akali goes a little bit too deep, but I didn't realize Jhin was going to be here. Rengar's here as well. And also Malzahar. And why not Leona as well? So I try to escape there, but it's not happening. Just overstaying a little bit. Trying to help the Akali, which I shouldn't have done. I should just let Akali die, really. But, you know, it's still my bad for overstaying. I should have just, you know... I don't know what you're doing, buddy. Come on, mate. You're asking for trouble there, Sunshine. And trouble is what you get. So, my item build, guys. I always do Blue Smite into Runic Echoes with Sorcery Boots. But the pro players often go Red Smite. They do the same build pretty much. Sometimes CDR Boots. But mostly it's the same build. But they favour the red over the blue. Personally, I love Blue Smite. I think Blue Smite is great on Talia. But, you know, it's preference, I would say, more than anything else. So, yeah. And after this, I'm going to go for my Lomacon. It's got pretty good stats for you. Now, right here, boys and girls, is where you need to switch this thing on again and think a little bit ahead. You can't... If you're just reacting to things as they're happening to you, there's a good chance you'll be a step behind throughout the whole game. You have to put your thinking cap on and put this thing into the future a little bit and think about what might happen so you can react to things in advance and therefore react to them faster, just have better rotations, that kind of thing. Now we see that the enemy team has just taken Rift Herald in the top side. This has just gone down and Akali face checked and then she died to 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So we know that 4 people plus the Rift Herald are in this top side. So what do we want to do about this one? The obvious answer is let's recall here and defend top side. I've got decent wave clear as the Talia specifically, so I can definitely contribute to this defense here. And we know with the Rift Herald, they're going to slap that down. It's going to push pretty bloody hard. So, but it's also relatively easy to stop. You just whack it in the eye and, you know, one of those and it's pretty much, you know, gone. However, our team, are positioned in the mid to bottom side of the map, complete opposite to where the enemy team is. So we can either we can either go and collect the defense, like actually physically go up top side and defend the top side of our map, or we can match their push by doing this a push of our own in the bot side. Considering these guys are going to get the jump on us and going to be able to move, have priority in their movement, i.e. get that movement going down first. I have a really itchy nose for some reason. Ugh. Considering they're getting in first, I think it's probably a better idea to recall here. But in the heat of the game, I don't think about... I make a different decision. I decide to go for the matched push, which means that I'm going to push... Whoopsie-daisy. Just like the enemy team is going to push. So I go for the bot side dive onto the Kled, playing around this Aatrox, because I know Aatrox is strong as heck. And then I'm going to be like, you know what? My team can defend this, right? My team can defend this one. I don't know what this is, by the way. I genuinely don't know what that is. You just use your Shroud, mate. I don't know what you're doing, buddy. But I thought, you know, my team can defend this one. We've got a Carling maybe or something, and then we just get our own in here. But it's like best, you know. I feel like worst case scenario is we get the inhib and they get the inhib. Best case scenario is they don't get the inhib, which is what I was thinking might happen. But we do get an inhib, which is cool. But Aatrox doesn't trust his team, so he actually recalls, which ends up being a fairly good decision because he defends the inhib, not the tower, but the inhib. And gets a handful of kills as well, while I push topside, get some decent damage down. Can't actually push very strong, obviously, because I'm Talia, but do my best. But I think I should have just recalled there. But it's still, honestly, it doesn't really matter what you do. You just have to make a decision and stick to it. It's always better to make that decision, to just be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, be decisive, and just go for it. You know, if I had, like, for example, if I ran up here and tried to dive Kled and then was like in two minds about it and then recalled, it's like I'm not going to get the benefit of going bot, but I'm still going to get the downside of going top because I'm so slow in this decision making. You know, I'm so slow at getting here. So if I decide to recall to defend or go for the aggressive push to match, doesn't really matter the specifics. You just want to make a decision basically. All right. Let's keep going here. I put some vision down for my Aatrox to protect him from the enemy team as he steals the enemy red buff. But this is where a crucial mistake happens in this game. If we click on Aatrox, we can see that his ultimate is about 30 seconds from being up. If you don't know what the new Aatrox does, basically his ultimate makes him Super Saiyan a little bit, like it did with old Aatrox, but more specifically, his revive, his Guardian Angel passive, is tied into his ulti. If he doesn't have his ulti, he ain't going to revive. So he goes for this interesting play here, and he just insta-dies. Now, at this point, when your MVP goes for a play, you kind of want to play around him. If there's one guy on your team that's really strong and they're going for something, just go with them. You know, there's a good chance he'll come out on top because he's so bloody strong. However, at this point, he just dies. He just suicides. This is a bad death. It's crap. But it's just one death, honestly. It's not the end of the world. But because I'm caught in two minds of going, like, salvaging that play, plus, you know, I just overextend here. I die. Lucian dies as well because they've got such good engage. And then, would you know, Soraka's going to die too. So the only person on our team who doesn't die out of that play is the Akali. Now, you guys can say stuff like, Aatrox... This is where we would say something like, Aatrox, why did you suicide? But come on. I mean, I know it's probably easy for you guys to see because you're not playing this game. You can see that's obviously a mistake by me. But... If you were one of these three people after Aatrox dies, I can guarantee you there's a good chance you would blame him for that play. But just use your brain. You know, it's fine to cut your losses. You don't have to defend everything. If something bad's happened, you can cut your losses. It's fine. Like right here, Akali. If she tries too hard to make this play, she's just going to instantly die. And that's bad. So she's got to be patient. Aatrox comes up here. And look where I am. Right here. Look where I am. I've respawned. I was dead. I could run straight to the fight here. But instead, I take the outside track here. And why do I take the outside track? It all comes down to what I talked about before with that Kled play. Because the position of your ultimate is so important. That is a very weird angle, Talia, mate. Not flattering. So I want to position myself to the side of the enemy team. And look at this wall. Trump would be proud. I don't know why I didn't kill that Leona. I'm just focused on winning the team fight, and that means going for the enemy carries. So that wall right there seals the enemy team's fate. There's no escaping out of that one. Triple kill as Baron's about to spawn here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So it's not all bad for us. Yes, we did a bit of an interesting play there and suicided, but it's not the end of the world. But we do have to respect the fact now that we have a naked inhibitor topside, a downed inhibitor mid lane. But we have the Baron, so we can go for aggressive pushes here. We can go for the Baron push, because, you know, we have the Baron, so we want to push with that stuff. And the best lane for us to push here is it top, middle, or bottom. Now, there's an argument for going in this bot lane, because the inhibitor is open, so we can go and try and take that. And bearing in mind, Akali just died as well, so we need to be a bit chilled out here. But we're going to push down the mid lane. And the mid lane is the best place to push right here. Why is it the best place to push? Because of this bad boy. This inhibitor that is resting in pepperonis. This inhib is down. Our inhib is down. So by pushing down into the mid lane, which is where our inhibitor is down, not only are we aggressively pushing ourselves by going into a lane and pushing with a Baron buff, but we are also defending the push from the enemy team's super minions. Because, as you're seeing here, as we push, we defend at the same time. So it makes sense if you've ever got a downed inhib, guys, and you've got Baron, or you're looking for a lane to group up in the lane that has your inhibitor down. So I'm going to sit over this wall here, get some vision, and try and go for a cheeky seismic shove, maybe catch someone, whatever, as we're sieging. But the enemy team's looking for an engage, and they've got such good engage with the Kled, with the Leona, and with the Rengar ulti. So here's another example. There you go. Here's another example of a team fight that goes down, and let's see what has to happen here for us to win this fight. Now we can see by the eyes on Rengar that he's probably in this top side going to jump on Lucian. They're going to collapse in onto us. But this wall right here, I think this is another great wall. It's my wall, so I would think that. But honestly, this wall right here, if the enemy team is hard engaging us, this splits the team fight up in half. The Jhin, the Malzahar, the Leona, they can't really get in onto this team fight at all here. By the way, I kind of just say shout out to this redemption by Soraka. Too many people use redemption far too late. Use it early. Using it early is good. It might actually be a little bit too early, but either way, in general, good shit. So we split up the team fight with this wall. However, So in theory, so Malzahar has to flash over to catch someone. And the problem here, I mean, the flash ult from Malz, there's no counterplay. There's no counterplay to that. But the real issue here is that Lucian insta-dies and Aatrox goes for the backline, and so does Akali. Now, if that's not necessarily a problem by itself, but these guys are already out of the fight. Jhin and Leona are already out of that fight because of the wall and the position of the wall. They're not in that fight. So we don't really need to go for them. They may as well be dead because they're not doing any damage. I think we should have all peeled back onto that fight and gone, you know, played around the Lucian and stuff. But I also heavily misplayed this fight right here, which I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to break down a bit as well because, you know, it's important to learn from these things, and it doesn't really matter what my team is doing. Essentially, I tried too hard to play around the Soraka and Lucian and kind of help the backline, which and I shouldn't have ran around like this. This basically meant that was going to turn on me and kill me. That was silly. I should have kited back like up here, or, you know, play. Yeah, if I just kited back or gone up, it would have been fine. I just got a bit too hypey there. Way too hypey. Way too hypey. And yeah, that's not great. But the plus side of this play, boys, the plus side of this play is that even though I died, so did Lucian and so did Soraka, we actually killed 3 people from the enemy team too. So that was actually a 3v3 fight. But generally speaking, my wall there and the way I played that team fight is what you want to do on Taliyah. Just kite it back. Don't go forward. I do that too much on Taliyah. Just don't go forward, go back. So now we're going to go for a push here. We should focus down this. Just go for the tower here, guys. Don't need to get greedy. Or you can get greedy. Kill the Kled. And then give over your 600 gold bounty to the Rengar. Not ideal. So now we have 2 people dead. We know the enemy team is probably going to go for these inhibitors. And I mentioned before, guys, don't go crazy trying to defend stuff you can't defend. Cut your losses. Don't get greedy like me. Get caught by a Leona ulti. But cut your losses. It's fine to not defend this stuff. Because right now we stand to lose an inhibitor. But if we try to defend this one and fail, what else will we lose? Probably the whole bloody game. Which, you know, I'm not a scientist or anything like that. But I don't think it's worth. I don't think that's worth. I think that's a terrible trade. So it's fine. Cut your losses. Get rid of that inhibitor. It's okay. Wait for your teammates to respawn. And then you can play as a unit. And be in awe of the size of your teamwork. Okay. Lucian went in base here, so we're not going to push out too far because that would be a little bit risque. Let's just go for a bit of cheeky farming. I especially need to catch up in farm a bit because of what happened in the early game. Another... Oh, are we going to prep for another team fight here? Gosh. We certainly do love our team fights, don't we? Got to wait for Soraka to get around. But here we go. So Aatrox has gone into the backline here. He loves going into the backline. He's got his ultimate up. He's blooming strong. So he's going for the backline. What do we want to focus here? We're going to try and go for the Jhin. Jhin runs away, but then Leona engages in onto us. Why are you focusing Leona? She's a tank. She's a support. Don't focus Leona. Wait, never mind. Leona's fine to focus. Just get whoever's in your bloody face. Get whoever's in your face, and then you can move on. Once Leona's down, it's easy for us to go for the back line. But it's fine to go for whoever's in your face. That's another thing you got to be appreciative of when you're playing carries. Is you want to make sure that you're not running through front lines to try and focus back lines. It's fine to focus the back line. And now I'm going to go for this bot side minion wave here, because if we want to push anything more than that inhib, we need to make sure that we've got minions with us, which we don't right now. So, but Rengar had the same idea too, and he's tried to block us from getting to that minion wave. So I'm going to recall. We have a huge lot of minions in our base as well. Kylie's going to deal with that. But that's something we have to keep our eye on. We do not want this top lane just pushing into our base, and you know this is our warning here for what can happen if we're not careful. It's a laid fight here where Aatrox is obviously going to win. He's at what, 18 at 26 minutes. But that is a slippery stabby cat. So now I get the 700 gold shutdown. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. And I can afford me Zhonya's. I haven't showed you my build in a while, guys, but basically I'm just going for the Zhonya's. Because that's really good against their hard engage. It just allows me to survive a little bit longer. Plus, if I have terrible positioning, which I, do, then it helps with that as well. Right, Aatrox is going crazy ham again. Malzahar is dead. Akali and I are not in this fight. So we're trying to get there as fast as possible. I can also join into the fight with my ultimate, although I think that might actually be on cooldown. It is on cooldown. But guys, what did I say 1 minute ago? We had a warning. For what was it, guys? It was for minions pushing into our base. Well, it seems as though we're not going to bother heeding that warning, because we got the kill, we got the pick, and now we want to fight for... We just want to go and end the game. And hey, this is okay. We can kind of let our Nexus towers die, which one of them has died, by the way. We can let our Nexus towers die if we can end the game. But can we end the game? You know what? I feel like trying to fountain dive the enemy team isn't a good idea to try and win the game. Getting flashed on and suppressed is not a good way to try and win the game. So 2 of us die, and Jin has teleport, because AD carries have teleport nowadays. They don't stop. Malzahar should have tried to stop these recalls. But here we go. The Nexus is 1 hit. 1 hit. 1 more hit, Jin. No, he can't do it. So the Nexus holds on with 1 bit of health. I mean, we deserve to lose from that play right there. We deserve to lose from that. That was greedy. But what's going to happen now, guys? What's going to happen now? The enemy team's going to try and backdoor this. Why? Because they have a Rengar. He's going to come in his stealth. We won't be able to see him. And he's going to go and backdoor that Nexus. Now, we know that's going to happen. So as soon as we see Rengar, we have to make sure, do whatever it takes to stop Rengar from being able to ult into our base, right? And the worst thing about him trying to do it is we won't even be able to stop him. But we see him. We see him right here. He's right here. We need to stop this guy. We need to stop him. Stop him. He's going to backdoor us. Go. Cut him off. Wait, what's that sound? What's that sound? Oh, milordy. It's Kled. It's Kled. But the inhibitor respawns. You can't make this up. Kled goes for the backdoor, not just the Ringer. Kled goes for it too, but the inhib spawns at the perfect time. He even had his W up, which is that... He would have had that 1 extra second more. He has that. But no. Denied. Cock blocked. And now we can go for the Baron, boys, because there's 2 backdoors dead. The inhib is up. They can't backdoor us anymore. Inhib's down, boys. It is up. We're all good. We're safe for now. Rengar goes aggressive and he dies. What are you doing, Rengar? You're dead. Oh my goodness, Kled's gonna die as well here. We're going for the team fight, the perfect team fight. Jin's caught out of position as well. Aatrox doing Aatrox things. Kled, you're pretty low too, buddy. Leona's dead. Kled's dead. Malzahar's dead. Jin's not dead, but either way. 4 of them are dead. We're gonna win the game. We win the game. Oh, bloody hell. I told you the ending was crazy. I told you this was a crazy ending. And this is my promos, guys, alright? We're now 1-0 in our D4 promos. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Saved twice. Twice. Oh, melody. It's a game of inches, fellas. That's what my girlfriend tells me, at least. Oh, holy moly. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video today. I really appreciate you tuning in, checking it out. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me for more. Whew. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, where I'm streaming almost every day. fb.gg/Foxdrop. Have a fantastic evening, guys. And I will see you in my next